up, guys? Andrew from Friendlies and 6 here. Let's talk about the new patch For Honor version 1.03. So first and foremost, counter guard breaking is back. That's right, finally fixing the timing for counter guard breaks, which is basically, whenever somebody goes in for a guard break and you do that kind of pushback to where they can't guard break you, which is super important to the game and has seemed really busted since the main release has come out. So basically that means no more stupid Orochi guard break combos or any of that nonsense, where they keep guard breaking you, slash, guard break, slash, and you know it's coming and you can't stop it. So thankfully, the patch is reverting the counter guard break mechanic to what it was during the beta. If you played the beta and the official release of the game, I'm sure you noticed the mechanic worked a little differently. During the beta, you would actually hit square whenever you saw someone beginning the animation. So if you saw somebody, start that animation, you'd hit square, boom, counter guard break. But now, in the actual release of the game, until this patch fixes it, it was completely different. It was whenever they made contact with your body. So this basically made it a super small window. Whenever you'd hear that actual them hitting your body, so you hear like a smack of two bodies hitting each other, that's when you hit square, and that was a counter guard break. So it was a super small window, late timing, a lot later timing than what it was in the beta. And in the beta, you had a little bit of a bigger window. It was much more intuitive. You would see them going for it, and that's when you'd counter, right? Not whenever you wouldn't wait. If you see somebody going for it, why do you have to wait for a later point if you know it's coming? So I know all the time I would see it coming. I knew it was coming, and I'd hit square too early. But thankfully, they're going back to what it was in the beta, to where whenever they're coming at you, you hit it. Boom, super simple. Thank God they're fixing that. Thank God it's not that super small window anymore. So many fights, it was just over and over. Orochi was the worst at it, but even the Warden would do it to me. I shouldn't say the Warden, the Warlord would do it to me. Just that freaking square R2, and I knew it was coming, and it's just, that timing threw me off so much. So that's the biggest thing this patch for me. But along with fixing the entire counter guard break mechanic, there's a bunch of changes for some characters, and especially some of the characters' feats. Like Shigoki's hard to kill feat was not working very well at times. Valkyrie's bloodlust feat wasn't working, so they fixed that. They nerfed the Peacekeeper a little bit, but also buffed at the same time. So they did have some balancing the Peacekeeper. So the Peacekeeper's triple stab has been nerfed slightly, only by 9 bleed damage. I think it's down. Just 9 total bleed damage. So that's not super crazy nerf, but at times that bleed damage is pretty ridiculous. So I think that's a good move. But at the same time, depending on his position and the terrain around them and where he actually initiated that triple stab from, sometimes those hits wouldn't count. So even though he'd be making the stab animation, the motion, they wouldn't actually register. So they increased the ability in the whole system for registering those hits. So less damage overall, but more consistent hits with that. So I think that's a good little balance. And then this kind of confuses me, but the light attack range of the Peacekeeper has also been increased. So she can hit from slightly farther away, and she can also connect a light attack immediately after a parry. So I kind of think the Peacekeeper's light attacks, I think they're the fastest in the game, and making them a little rangier, I think I don't know if that's a good move or not. And the ability, I guess you can reward parries. They don't have a problem rewarding parries. So light attack after parry, whatever. But her light attacks are already so freaking good. All you have to do is R1 and just flip the stick different ways, and it's super hard to counter that. And they actually get a block or a parry on that. So I don't know if that's smart, but I guess we'll see whenever that patch hits consoles. The Valkyrie is getting a huge buff. That includes increased damage for a lot of her attacks, slightly faster attacks, so they'll hit 100 milliseconds faster, which doesn't seem like a crazy amount, but in a game like this, as this technical and this reaction based, that's a huge increase. She's gotten some faster combos and new attack chains and some new mix-ups, so basically just made her a lot more deadly. Because I think when she was first, at the very beginning, she was winning almost all of her one-on-one matches, but now that they nerfed her, and then she's been literally the worst character, bottom of the barrel of all 12 characters in one-on-one matches. So they had to buff her again. So that's a pretty sweet little buff there. Another addition, which I thought has been pretty needed if you ever play Orochi, which seems like everybody plays Orochi. His Riptide Strike, which is his dodge back overhead slash, not the dodge back with the cool crouch over and then the dash forward, not that attack. It's the one where you take the step back and then slash overhead forward, which is it's basically a fake retreat. I really, really like that attack. But so many times I would use that, and the person attacking me, their lunge forward attack, whatever it was, the range would always hit me, especially the Warden. For some reason, like the Warden has that like helm splitter attack. I remember playing this guy over and over and over. I would use that Riptide Strike, that dash back and then forward, and it would just catch me, and it shouldn't have caught me. Like I felt like I was timing it perfectly. So they actually increased the range on that. So they increased it like slightly. So I think a lot of those attacks will now miss you, and you'll actually get that overhead strike forward, which is super cool. I'm really glad they did that. So hopefully y'all will notice that. I'm sure y'all have had similar issues with that attack. It hasn't been a very viable attack. I don't see anybody really use it. Hopefully that brings it back, because I think it's a super cool attack. That's another thing they're adding in. What else? This is pretty cool. I know a lot of people complain about this. The bots joining a match in progress. Like let's say you're fighting somebody in a brawl. So 2v2, you're fighting your guy, you're kicking his ass, you've got him down to a quarter health. Boom, he leaves the match. Fully healed bot spawns in for him. And you're like, great, I'm half injured, and now I have to fight an entire another person, even though I was about to win that match. So actually, now with the patch, they'll spawn in dead. So no more of that worries of, oh, now I have to fight 2 people, and then if your teammate loses, I have to fight 3 people. They'll spawn in dead, basically just removing that whole issue, that whole problem. So that's pretty cool. And I know a lot of people wanted that. But overall, this is a pretty solid patch. I think it addresses a lot of the problems, especially the counter guard break. Thank God it's back. That's all I wanted. I'm really, really happy about that, if you can't tell. So yeah, that's it for the patch for the most part. I think there's some other small little changes, but there's nothing really notable that I wanted to add in. But that's it for me. I'll see you out there on the battlefield, guys.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more stuff like this, be sure to hit subscribe at the top of this screen and check out the links on the sides for some of our other exciting escapades. If there's something specific that you would like to see us try, let us know in the comments, and don't forget, you've always got a friendly on your 6.